Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 30th edition of the Garage Chronicles of the Grant VW build. 30 is quite a lot. Now, they've been slow, granted, but we're at 30 now, which is pretty awesome. That's a celebratory thing. So here we are with the car. I've been back and forth with this whole deck. Hang on, I'm gonna get inside the car here. I've been back and forth a few times with this part here. This back deck area has been nothing but a pain in the ass, really. It's full of all these pitted areas. Down here, I built this little patch piece. I haven't quite finished it yet. The problem is this area here it's covered, so you don't see it. We're gonna put sound deadener on it anyways, but it's just got so much rot in all different spots. And they sell an entire replacement piece, and I've got one. Problem is it's from 54 to 74 or something like that. So it covers a lot of years. And this is 61, it's a one-off year. And what I'm realizing is a lot of that one-off stuff it's kind of important. Take, for example, this hole back here on the replacement piece. It doesn't have that hole. It has a hole up here instead. And I don't need that. So what I got to do is I got to find a way to cut that piece up, stick it in here, weld it in, and make it work. So that's what I'm going to do. Just gonna get out of the car here. So this is the piece up here. It's huge. But it has the entire area, and it's got these little screwed in areas here, which I don't even know what those are for. But again, when you're covering 20 years worth of cars and they've had some subtle changes, you're going to expect that not all the parts are going to be the same. Here's that hole I was talking about here on the back of the reproduction piece. So, and again, there's these little welded gizmos everywhere. So I'm going to cut this thing up and use the pieces of it that I can to put in the car, and try and keep as much of the original metal in there, but replacing the big chunks, the areas that they're just stupid. Like the amount of area I'm trying to fix here with this one piece of metal, it just doesn't make sense. So that's our game plan moving forward. So I'm gonna get at that now. And of course, as you probably saw here too, I'll just do one of these. This area here is complete Swiss cheese. So I have to cut this piece out anyways, the firewall piece, just to get to there and repair that too. So that's gonna be another one of my many challenges to go at the back of this car. So no time like the present, let's get at it. Well, I'm back out in the garage again, guys, and yeah, as you can tell here, I've got some more problems. One thing that I will say is consistent with this car is every time you remove a piece of metal, you find another piece of rust. This is my problem now. This has now become officially my crisis with this car. So here's where I'm at right now. I'm just gonna navigate through my room here. There we go. Okay, so I just brought in the air chisel, as you guys saw, and what I'm dealing with now is this whole area here. Once I took that piece of metal off of there, I guess the edge, basically that piece there as it folds around. So in behind there, there's a small little, I would call it just a little cupped area that obviously fills with water. So, and consequently we have rust. So I now have to make this whole piece here too, which is really unfortunate because if you can see it there, it's a big, ugly, awful piece, and I don't know, this is really becoming a nightmare. So again, there are no good deals when it comes to a 50s and 60s Volkswagen. They're all problems. This one is definitely showing up in quite the way here. So I guess at this point, what I got to do is I've got to cut this piece out, bend a new piece up, and the whole length of the back here. I don't want to go too much further because this is actually fairly solid over here, so I'm going to leave that alone, I think. And where possible, I'll just repair and treat. But yeah, I don't know. This is really, this back area here, you know, when I first did the car, it didn't look like very much was wrong. It looked like just this area up here where that rust is there. I thought, oh, it's not a problem. I can bend something up and stick it in there. And then of course the other side came along and it had the same problem. And now I'm finding it's everywhere in this car. It's literally everywhere. There's not one section other than up here that doesn't have some kind of rust in it. It's just brutal. But I digress. I'll just grab myself some 1mm steel and I will bend up a piece there, and I guess I'll have to cut that out and weld a new piece in. And that's going to be part of this whole back here. I honestly thought the front of this car was going to be the problem, but it is definitely this back luggage compartment area. It is just horrendous. So anyways, let's get at it. All right, everyone, I must first and foremost thank you all for tuning back in. Hopefully you have tuned back in. I haven't lost too many viewers. Not that I had tons to begin with, but it's, you know, when you only have 70 or 80, when you lose one, that's a big deal. If I had 250,000, well then that might be a different story. Anyways, what's been going on? So I've been probably a couple months since I've actually made a video, and that sound in the background is the sound of my air compressor draining. It's a big one, so it takes a better part of 10 minutes. Anyways, back on the Beetle. As you guys saw, there's been lots going on with that car. I've been picking away at it, little bits here and there, just trying to, you know, get some inspiration to get back on it again. It's just such a, it's hard to get enthused because every time I turn a corner with this car, it just there's another pile of rust sitting there. It's just exhausting. But it also takes just getting down to business and just doing it. So that's what I'm doing. So I've found a couple more spots, as you guys saw, and just a few other projects I've been picking away at here. Right down here, I've got a Ducati transmission that I'm going to be turning into mechanical art, hopefully. Going to weld it all together as it would look inside the transmission case, and maybe make it into a little bit of mechanical art. See, it's a little TIG welding experiment I'm gonna go for, and who knows, it might look cool, might not. Maybe it just be a paperweight. And over here, I've got this little guy here, which is a jack stand holder for between the pads on my lift. So that'll fit inside there, and then in this channel right here, a jack stand will sit. A minute, allow me to demonstrate here. Like so, actually like this. And imagine that's between the two railings on the hoist. And yeah, so I can actually lift the car up independent of the hoist, up in the air. It's just one little option. They want about $1,000 for those things from Benpack. They're pretty cool, but this was about a $60 solution. That does the same thing. So that's what I'm working on the side too. What else? Not too much else. I hope to get, this is my neighbor's M3 BMW that he's been storing here because, well, let's face it, I'm a hell of a nice guy. But no, he's desperately needed some storage for this winter, so I happily helped him out. And yeah, then once that's out of here, probably, I don't know, March, April sometime, I can get the brakes and stuff on the Mustang. Or if we get some good weather, I'll bring it around the other side of the shop here, and maybe I'll do some projects on it too, just to sort of shake things up a little bit. Anyways, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I hope to be a bit more regular with my content. Yeah, that's about as best I can hope for. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye.